boy.
I don't like our intro. It just says "and just facts," but most of the time it's just my opinion.
Could be. Um, I
Nah,
was I was oh, by the way, do you like the new positioning of the camera and everything?
it gives you more space, but also it just leaves you with much more empty space, which I feel you need to fill out.
Oh, it's getting filled. The back wall is gonna be filled, and that's gonna be filled, and all that
So,
stuff. So
so did you remove your like closet walls, and that's why like there's no door there? And
that's the
it
closet.
looks like it. No, 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 no. Your other side.
No, that's the closet. This
Why
is the
does it look like
closet.
it has no doors?
That's the closet. Welcome to the good life, Lewis.
It looks like
That's what most
your
that's
room
what
has
most
an
closets look
interior room that leads to nowhere.
like. Welcome to the good life, Lewis. That's what most closets look like. They slide open.
And if you live in Florida,
um so I was I was reading something that was actually pretty interesting. Did you see and I know I've talked about this a lot of times, but it's funny though because it's concerning the Snyderverse, the Snyder cut. Um so before I get to what
so just to show my opinion, I think it was a very middling movie that went from bad to middling only because it extended by another damn hour and my life felt wasted.
So I'll tell you
End
I'm
of
going to be
comments.
I'm going to tell you what I'm going to be referring to. So
With
just
the
a brief
bots thing and the whole threatening WB and all that.
no, just okay. So essentially, um, everybody knows who's been watching the show and listening to us too as well. That I have a big heart on for Zack Snyder.
Yes,
A
you
big
do.
heart on, like as much as
You keep a constant chub. You always keep it hard.
yeah, anything that Zack Snyder I'm a big heart on for, especially 300s.
And while
That
I don't care, that's it.
yeah. So essentially, um, we talked about Zack Snyder and all that in the past already.
Multiple times.
I got made fun by Roberto because he's like, you don't really think that the Snyder Cut exists. I'm like, it fucking exists, and he goes, you stupid. And then
But it didn't.
but we're not gonna get into that, okay? It did exist, but we're not gonna get into that, okay?
Okay.
Um, so it, got made fun of and all that stuff, and then it came out and all that. But we're not gonna get into the whole debate on that because
Okay.
we all know how Miami thinks. It's not that I'm wrong, you're just not right, kind of thing. So
I mean, as
I'm not.
long as you keep that attitude, no one
I'm
can ever
not.
admit you're wrong.
That's just stupid. I'm not gonna get into that kind of thing. So,
Well, you
anyways,
just did, but let's keep going.
I'm not gonna.
What about
I'm
Zack
not.
Snyder do you love?
I'm not gonna extend that. But anyways,
Is it his beard?
so everybody knows about Zack Snyder and the Snyder Cut and all that stuff for the Justice League when he got fired. So along with everybody else, I was one of those people who wants to see the Snyder Cut. But
Didn't he walk away? I don't think he was fired.
no, so again, a brief history on it. The reason why they said that he walked away from it is because of family reasons, because his daughter committed suicide. But the time that he actually uh, quote unquote walked away from it because of family reasons didn't match the date of when his daughter died and whatnot. It was like months after, so it doesn't make any sense. So he was fired. Um, but essentially, there was a Snyder Cut that actually existed. So the Snyder Cut is essentially a whole like hours and hours of film and unfinished CGI that was already filmed and done, and then a bunch of stuff that's left on the cutting room floor by Josh Whedon. Those were the Snyder Cuts, right? And everybody, campaigned for it. Now, if people don't know, this is how people campaign for it. Um, they organize time and dates to when to use the hashtag release the Snyder Cut on Twitter, Instagram, and everything else. So it was one of those organized protests, and when they did it, what ended up happening is that it's always trending #1 on Twitter or trending at all, right? Every time they organize it, and everybody's like, "Yay, we're trending and whatnot." Up to the point where Warner Brothers actually got pressured to just say, "All right, fuck it, man. We'll just release the whole fucking thing because these fuckers are not going to stop." Um, it's not like Warner Brothers are like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna do fanfare and be like, all right, we're gonna give you a Snyder cut," and it was one of the big releases for HBO Max, $14.99. So now what ended up happening?
Increased
So
spending.
yeah, so when it was released, everybody praised it. They're like, "Yeah, this is way different than Josh Whedon. Josh Whedon is a piece of shit. He's a misogynistic motherfucker too, as well. So that helped with the Me Too movement." But they're like, this is way better than the original theatrical release, so it was praised. Now there's reports that came out, Lewis, if you don't mind, if you take a look at it. There's reports that actually came out yesterday,
About the bots?
and then it caught fire and it went everywhere. That the hashtag release the Snyder cuts was actually all bots. It was all bots that was purchased. We don't know who. Well, we don't know who the fuck purchased all those bots.
They analyzed that it was only 13% of
So
everyone that was actually trying to get the Snyder cut.
Yeah. So, well, before we go through the numbers in there, let me know when you have it pulled up. Essentially, so essentially, what ended up happening is that Warner Brothers have done their own internal investigation on it and found out that the release the Snyder cuts is essentially all bots. Not only that, all of it are bots. Well, not to just say all of it are bots. When Lewis pulls it up, we're gonna see what it says. There were bots, and then not only that Zack Snyder himself actually instigated it to as well. How did he instigate it? The same way as Donald Trump said that we're gonna go up the Capitol Hill and we're gonna take the country back, and it's like, well, I didn't do nothing. I didn't do no shit. That way. That's the way that Zack Snyder instigated the release, the Snyder Cut. Now, if you guys are wondering, where the hell are all these people coming from? Like, who organizes this? I met a couple of them in New York. There's a few of them that I met. They're the ones who served it. Oh, okay. Here, hold on. Lewis has it pulled up. Oh, here we go. Okay, so let me read it out. Can you focus on that a little bit?
Make it bigger?
Yeah, can you make it bigger? So I'll read it out.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So Lewis has it pulled up in here, and the whole thing says, scroll down on that, Lewis. It says here.
Get rid of this.
So it says there that Zack Snyder mobilized the Snyder Cut fandom with a single tweet that reads, "A Snyder Cut on digital, Tuesday, July 19th, marked the film's official digital release." And then go down right there. Keep going down, Lewis. And then keep going, Lewis. Keep going. What is wrong with your computer? What is wrong with your computer, man?
I'm on a laptop that's not built for this, man.
So okay, so what you have pulled up in there doesn't have the bots thing. It's not saying anything about the bots.
It was literally the second paragraph.
It wasn't the second paragraph. This is about the DVD release today. But anyways, when that's about this DVD release, Lewis. Read it carefully. It says digital release of Snyder Cut. Okay, so anyways, what ended up happening anyways before Lewis is gonna pull it up anyways. So he apparently instigated the release the Snyder Cuts, and about 13% of the hashtag was all bots itself. Did that diminish the fact that people wanted to see the Snyder Cut? No, it didn't diminish the fact that people wanted to see the Snyder Cut. People still wanted to see the Snyder Cut. I wanted to see the Snyder Cut, but the fact of the matter is that they made the campaign bigger than it actually is. Like it wasn't really that big of a campaign. Do you know what I mean? Like
They were making a mountain out of a molehill.
it's like if somebody says that they're packing, you know, I haven't. if one dude goes up in the club,
You
and
couldn't
goes,
just accept a
Yeah.
mountain out of a molehill.
no,
You
we're not
have to
going-
be like Hulk
has-
Hogan, maybe carrying a 6-incher right here,
It has to be very sexualized example.
like
Uh,
3 foot long dick.
If there was a guy in the club and goes up to a girl and be like, "Guess what, girl? I have a 12-inch dick." They go up, try to hook up, and they're like, "That's only 8." See, I like that.
That's still
I
a
like that.
decent dick.
It's decent, right? Right, exactly.
Great dick,
It's still pretty decent.
but it ain't no 12er.
The girl's probably like, "Yeah, I'll fuck it," but
You
You
promised
know.
me more.
you told me it was 12-inch and it was 8. Still decent. I like it.
If there was
I-
no bragging involved, it would have been great.
Yeah, like yeah, sure. So damn, that's like one of the most perfect like examples I've
Nope,
ever.
you could have just literally lived on making a mountain out of a molehill, but no.
That mountain thing sucks, man. The penis
It's
thing was a lot
like
better.
literally an actual proper analogy, but you really want the dick thing.
The dick analogy was a lot better, man.
You just
know
are
it.
happy. You're
Don't
just happy with
fucking
the
lie.
dick.
I'm very happy with it. I like how that went. Pat myself in the back a little bit. Pat. But like I said before, it doesn't diminish the fact that people still wanted to see it, nor was it better than the theatrical release, right? But that does raise a question on fandom nowadays. Are fandom really real nowadays, or they're just kind of bots now? I mean, like, we already know this is how Instagram works. Okay, we already know how that's how Instagram works. When you see, okay, maybe you could take a look at this later, Lewis, while you're doing the Snyder Cut thing. There was a report that was released. I think it was a report, or somebody, one of the Kardashians was like interviewed or something like that. So we're gonna go with the
probably not good source material.
Yeah, so we're gonna go with like some of the Kardashians revealed how Instagram followers work. So essentially, somebody found out that when you take your Instagram followers, you have to subtract at least 10 to 15% of those followers, and those are the real ones. Did you hear about that? So
I mean, it makes a lot of sense because early on you want a lot of like clout chasing, so those numbers really do affect your popularity in the long run.
So essentially, when you, I think it was like one of the Kardashians that they studied or whatnot. They said that when you see the Kardashians followers and they're in the millions, you have to take that following and just cut it by 10 to 15%, and they're like, that's their actual following. So every
that's
time
still
you
a
see
lot of people.
No, like I said, Lewis, it doesn't diminish the fact that there's still a lot of people, right? It's just that it's not real. Right, it's just not real. We already know that's how Instagram works. It's just that they utilize that to the Snyder Cut. Now, the report for the Snyder Cut also states that the person who instigated, like I mentioned before, was Zack Snyder. Now, did that kind of change my opinion about the Snyder Cut and whatnot? I don't think so. I think he still has this bitter war with Warner Bros., which is kind of odd because if you look at all the DC movies that came out or are coming out since like Batman versus Superman, Deborah Snyder, which is his wife, and him and his production company are attached to it. Did you know that? At some point, at some point they are attached to it, whether they are the executive producers or they are the writers for that movie. Like Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Shazam, all those, they're under Deborah Snyder and Zack Snyder. So when people thought that they are done with Zack Snyder, you're not done with Zack Snyder. He's still responsible for all these characters. What is wrong with your phone?
I don't know, man. Everybody decides to contact me and like at the worst opportune moment.
Could you like just put it on silent or something?
No,
Like are all these like booty calls?
no. It needs to stay on in case family needs me, or
Okay,
mostly just I'm
can't you
taking
put it
care of
on?
my grandmother right now, and I can't like not have this stupid thing on.
Okay, but can you put it on vibrate?
Nope.
Oh my god, dude, why?
I don't know. It
Just
annoys you.
just put it on
Listen,
vibrate.
just continue your jerking off of Zack
No,
Snyder,
but
please.
then like it's just gonna ruin the audio, dude.
I
like-
mean, just cut this out.
I can't cut it out because it's constantly going off, man. Just
We
put it
are
on
always
vibrate.
popping off, bro.
Just put it on vibrate. I
There.
don't
Are
understand
you
this.
happy?
Jesus Christ. That's like the most annoying thing ever.
I mean, I hear you talk once a week, so
Yeah, I know, but that's annoying. I get that. That's once a week. This is like once every like 2 seconds. Can you imagine hearing me talk every like 2 seconds of like each day?
yes,
That's annoying as hell.
I
mean,
know.
like
I
even
work
when
for you.
even when you were working at the store, you only heard me talk Tuesday and Wednesday, and that's fucking it.
That's a lie.
so anyways, before I was distracted by Lewis's like what is that 2000 and what phone? Samsung what?
I think it's 2008, maybe.
2008 phone.
I don't know. How do you check which phone version I have? I'm checking out that right now. It's gonna take me way longer than finding a Zack Snyder article. 1 second.
Jesus Christ. Anyways, but essentially that's how
Found it.
everything.
It's a
Okay.
Galaxy A13 5G. So maybe 5 years old.
How do you figure that was 5 years old? I'm
I'm
kind of
guessing.
invested. I'm just kind of invested in this now.
I'm guessing. Knowing me, how much of a cheapskate I am, sounds about right.
I guess so. But essentially, what I mean, does it change your mind, Lewis? Like for you or anybody listening, I mean, like, does it change your mind about the Snyder Cut stuff?
I'm not emotionally invested into Zack Snyder as much as you are.
Well, I mean, everybody is emotionally invested on the Zack Snyder fiasco with Warner Brothers. I mean, let me put it this way. I don't know if you noticed this.
know.
I don't know if you noticed this though. When the Snyder Cut thing came out, right? Everybody was invested on the fact that it doesn't exist. And when it existed, the people who were going to the who released the Snyder Cut, they were emotionally invested on just berating people who made fun of them and like, see, it existed. Now that there's reports are saying that your campaign was a piece of shit and it wasn't really real, now they're emotionally invested on actually saying your campaign was a piece of shit.
I mean, it was only 13%. That's still saying like you're discrediting 87%.
But like
So,
again, like it's one of those things. It's like small victories for like different people. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like those people who don't believe in Zack Snyder stuff. They're like, it's 13%. That's still a lot.
so it's basically taking 100 people, removing 13 people. That's still 87 people that wanted something.
It's still a lot, right?
That's still a lot of
It's
people.
still a lot of people.
I'm not discrediting, like,
But those people are trying to discredit them. Do you see what I'm trying to say? That I'm like how
I don't care personally. It was a very whatever movie that needed to be extended by an hour to get from a bad to whatever.
So let me ask you this, Lewis, without without me trying to like answer it for everybody or whatnot. Why do you think people are so emotionally invested in this Zack Snyder there's this drama between him and
Oh
Warner
yeah,
Brothers?
no, that's easy. No one wants to be wrong.
What do you mean?
People will never admit they're wrong.
Oh, so you're saying that Zack Snyder's like, my movie is one of the greatest movies of all superhero movies of all time, and the people are like, no, you're wrong. So basically,
And
just a
then
big
he's
back
like,
and forth.
no, you're wrong. So no one wants to be proven either wrong or right. I do not believe it's the greatest movie ever made because I've
No.
seen more than that one movie.
No, it's not the greatest like
And
movie ever made.
and from each person in person, like maybe there's a few people that truly do believe this is the greatest movie of all time, and there is an audience for that.
Yeah.
But the more you expose yourself to how many years of cinema that exists,
Yeah.
like that's nowhere near.
But would you agree
Even
that
some of Zack Snyder's older projects
yeah,
are better than this movie.
but would you agree that when Zack Snyder was actually helming the DCEU, the DC Extended Universe, would you agree that it was more structured than it is now? There's actually a structure to it. Like, this is how he planned it. I'm gonna begin with Man of Steel, and then take it to Batman versus Superman, and then take it to Justice League,
It's how
and
I
then
kind of felt about the 7, 8, and 9 trilogy for Star Wars, because there was multiple visions. It just seemed like a jumbled up Rubik's Cube mess of
it's a lot
taking things back and forth.
yeah.
It seemed like it was one solid idea that somebody removed parts because they didn't like it, and then added parts that they thought would work but didn't.
Yeah. Well, I will tell you this: it's a lot more.
It did feel like two different movies.
Well, I will tell you this: it's a lot more structured than Phase 4 of Marvel right now.
I do like their approach with the more TV shows.
No, I'm saying it's structured in terms of like storyline, like they're interconnected.
I don't understand their goals for Phase 4 at all.
Well, everybody understands it. It's Secret War. That's their end game. No, everybody already knows that their end game, right, is basically Secret War. That's where it's gonna end. Like, everybody knows Infinity War was gonna be with Thanos and everything was a phase on the
I don't know, man. The Skrulls were such a disappointment.
Well, this is what I'm telling you. So it's a lot more structured. Zack Snyder's vision was a lot more structured than Phase 4 now. Like, let me ask you this: how do you connect Miss Marvel with Falcon and the Winter Soldier? There's no connection. Exactly. Like, how would you connect those? There's no connection whatsoever. There's nothing that would connect this and this. The only thing that connects right now, the only thing that connects is WandaVision and Doctor Strange. That's it.
And Loki.
No, not even Loki. No, WandaVision. WandaVision. When WandaVision ended, Doctor Strange began. That's structure there. You know what they left off in there? Where the fuck is White Vision? There's been like what the hell?
Went off to the sky like Superman and never to be seen again.
Like, you just went off to the sky.
Vision left like it was Superman too.
It's like, what the fuck happened to White Vision? Like, they just
he went to his home world to figure out if he was the last visionary.
I feel like Vision 2 is gonna, like, White Vision's gonna come back like Superman Returns, and they have like a whole Superman Returns storyline. They're like, where have you been? Kind of thing, right?
Some reason Wanda is still alive, has a kid.
Yeah. Well, everybody knows Wanda's still alive because if you saw Doctor Strange, there was like that big flash of red light when the whole
assumed
mountain
dead, maybe alive.
No, it's always alive. Come on, man. This is.
I think it would have ended her arc really great if she did die.
See, everybody knows, or at least some people knows, that everyone's contract from Phase 1 to 3 are ending right now. Everybody knows that their contract ended, so they have to wrap their story up somehow, and then begin with a brand new people.
If they already renew the contract, they can keep going, and if they don't, they stay dead.
Well, Kevin Feige already went on to say that we're not going to have the exact same contract as the first 3 phases. I don't know if you remember.
Oh yeah, because they have multi-year contracts.
It was a multi-year contract because the contract that you would sign if you were with Marvel from Phase 1 to Phase 3, you have to appear on every single one until on the ones that they want you to be in until Endgame, and that's when your contract ends. That's why Robert Downey Jr. had the biggest fucking contract out of everybody, so he gets paid like millions of dollars, where everybody gets
And
paid like
also the whole
thousands.
lawsuit with Scarlett Johansson, they figured like, oh, we can't fuck everybody. Okay.
Yeah, so they said they're not gonna do extended contracts like that anymore. Which right now, it makes everything. It makes no. It makes Phase 4 so convoluted and
questionable,
and unstructured, because you don't have all these people
committed to the long term.
committed to the long term. Because if you had them committed to the long term, you can actually better structure a storyline and say like, this is what's going to happen, right?
I
Chris
was excited for a season 2 for Moon Knight, and then Oscar Isaac is like one and done unless the fans love it.
Yeah, he's like one and done, and fans love it. We love it. Nope, that is it. He still says that is it. No, he still says that is it. There's no Moon Knight number 2.
They probably have not offered that man enough money.
There's yeah, I think he asked for more money, but there's no Moon Knight 2. So now the structure is just messed up now, right? So you can't say that there's gonna be Moon Knight 2. You can't say that this person will return to this and this will return
And
to
aren't
that.
they also planning to put in Werewolf by Night in Marvel?
Werewolf by Night was already like in discussion, but then where is it now? Do you know what I mean?
I mean,
Like,
and if also Oscar Isaac is not in that, like, what's the whole point?
exactly. So it's you can't structure it at all. So right now everything is so convoluted that it has no connection. They said that Loki. They said when Loki first released, they said Loki will be the center of Phase 4, and then all these shows came out, and you're just like, how is
But-
Loki connected to all these?
All the releases have been like random. Like some of them that were supposed to be earlier or much later, but even if you connect them properly, nothing flowed the way that
No,
the
it
first
doesn't
3
flow.
phases did.
No, you're right. It doesn't flow at all. So, because if you were to actually,
This does seem like a more experimental phase on who I think they're trying to cherry pick. Okay, of these people, who do we feel has long-term usability, and which one is a one and done?
Well, we already established that Marvel did not have any confidence in that show whatsoever. Well, whether you agree with me or not, that is the truth. They had no confidence in that show. It is the most marketed and promoted out of all Marvel TV series, out of any one of them, right? On top of that, it was premiered in the middle of Obi-Wan, right? In the middle of Obi-Wan series.
I was so disappointed with that series, and that
and
great
then,
reveal at the end was even more disappointing.
And then it was also in the middle of the debut of Doctor Strange. So they had no confidence at that show whatsoever. Because if you look at it, every single Marvel TV show and even Star Wars had their own month just to like themselves.
Yeah.
Right? Like dedicated to themselves. Loki had their own selves. WandaVision had their own selves. Fucking Hawkeye even had a Christmas all to itself.
Yeah,
right?
But Hawkeye's reveals, I'm super excited for though.
It's like even Hawkeye had his own. Moon Knight, who no one outside of like comic book fandom know who Moon Knight is, even had its own month. But Miss Marvel, it was so bad that
but
Miss
Marvel, even unlike Moon Knight, had a really tight fan base.
Well, no, it has a sub fan base that's actually just already existed within the comic book industry. But from the MCU and fandom, nobody knew who Moon Knight was. They had to build it up.
I was talking about Miss Marvel, but for Moon Knight, yeah, like you have very select few people that were like diehards and will die in the hill trying to convince you to read this, but you really don't.
No.
You give them, yeah, I'll read that, and then you slowly fucking walk away.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just so convoluted. Like there is no connection whatsoever to all things Marvel right now. So, I mean, I feel like Marvel is um they're in the type spot to actually connect all their stories, but yet they are trying to satisfy the whole inclusivity kind of culture right now. Like you have to include everybody,
They're obviously trying to go for a young Avengers.
and which is like the worst thing that can happen. By the way, like I don't know about like
I
if
think
you
Young
search this,
Avengers would work as a show
yeah, uh,
versus
phase
a movie.
Phase 4 is so messed up right now that the Russo brothers were quoted during an interview about Phase 5. What? Phase 5, dude. We're like, get your Phase 4 like settled first. You're talking about
yeah,
Phase
everybody's
5
like,
now?
okay, we want to skip this phase. Can we go to the next phase?
It's
And they're like, we still have 30 movies left. What are you talking about?
It's like Phase 4 is so messed up right now. They're like, but you know what? Phase 5 is gonna be so sick. Like, listen, can you just straighten out Phase 4 first and then promote Phase 5? Because right now, Phase 5, I don't know, it's not looking great right now. It's like, what are you gonna do in Phase 5?
Don't we still need to go through like 6 more movies before Phase 5?
Like a whole shitload more movies. Yeah. We're only like how many
half a dozen movies are still left, and people are talking about the next phase, and they have like we have like maybe one thought of a movie.
Yeah,
are you happy with a thought?
Yeah, Wakanda Forever is not even there. They revealed what Namor was gonna look like, and everyone's like, "What the fuck is this? This is Namor?"
Some people are super excited. I'm not so excited. I was really hoping for a black spandex idiot-looking Namor.
Yeah, so this is where what I mentioned earlier, that Marvel is stuck between getting their story straightened out and inclusivity kind of thing. Did you see how the design of Namor? Can you pull that up, Lewis? The design of Namor.
God, stop making me pull up things.
Can you pull it up, Lewis? You have a faster computer than I do.
We just proved that I don't.
I was being sarcastic, but but anyways, they revealed what Namor would look like, and it to me when I first saw it, it was a very, very sad attempt of what they did with Aquaman. Does that make sense? Okay, so
a little bit.
So a little background on what I mean. When Zack Snyder did Aquaman, he hired Jason Momoa, right? He hired Jason Momoa, but they never really had a storyboard or like what Aquaman would actually look like. They had an idea of what it would look like, but they don't have like a solidified what it would actually look like. When Jason Momoa got hired, he and Zack Snyder actually went on record to say this. He saw his tattoo, the tattoo in his forearm, right? And he told him about the Polynesian background about it and whatnot. Because Jason Momoa is a what is he's not Hawaiian. I forgot what
you
he
got
is.
closer than I did. I don't even know.
I forgot what his background is, but anyways, so he was talking about the heritage of island Polynesian and whatnot, and he said that's where this tattoo came from. So he gave Zack Snyder a little bit of a background on it, and to him it's like, well, that makes sense. If Aquaman was going to be something, it would be this, right? So the tattoo that he had in his forearm, they made an extension and made it go all over his body. So he has a little bit of a background of like what Aquaman is. So now you're like, oh yeah, he's a Pacific Islander, whatnot. Makes sense. That's what fucking Aquaman is. He's not a blonde, blue-eyed fucking guy from the Netherlands just fucking swimming around. Because Aquaman was blonde apparently when he was created.
The exact same thing for his brother. So
so he gave it more of a realistic and had a little bit more of a ethnic background for Aquaman. Now Namor, on the other hand, I feel like they tried to do the same thing. Lewis, are you having a hard time finding
I'm
it?
having the most impossible
So this is
time
why.
trying to find this.
You know why you're probably having a hard time finding it? Because the image, you actually found it already, but you cannot believe that that's actually
I'm not
fucking
committing to
real.
what I saw.
Yeah, you can't believe that's actually fucking real. Just put down Namor,
I did
MCU.
already. Yeah, no, that's all that is in my
Pull it
search
up.
bar.
Let me see. Let me see what you got.
Yeah,
So,
okay, sure.
so
I don't know.
essentially, what they did is that they gave it the exact same background kind of thing that,
It's not there, man. And I saw it.
so Namor,
I'm just
MCU.
gonna remove reveal. It's all still gonna be the same thing.
Okay, so you
It's not
see
here.
that? No, it's in there. Okay, no. Keep going down. Keep going down. Keep going down. 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 Down.
Okay.
Oh man, do you think they removed it?
They had to, because I remember what it looked like. It's not there.
No, it doesn't look like it's there.
Like I told
Lies.
you.
No. Okay,
Wait,
type it
wait,
in again. Go back. Go back.
Wait, the search
No,
bar's right
put
there.
name. No, put Submariner in there. Put Submariner.
I hate
I know everybody fucking hates that.
that. Name was already Namor.
It's a Namor Submariner.
No,
Okay.
none of these are it.
Oh no.
There's no escaping
okay.
it.
No.
Not my
Go
chat
back.
group.
Go back. Erase
Go back up.
Submariner. No.
Okay.
Yeah. Erase Submariner and put down Wakanda Forever. For Wakanda Forever. Forever. Because that's his debut apparently. That's the. Okay. Okay, I think we can find it now.
This is as close
There
as
it
we're
is.
gonna get.
There it is. Yes. That's it.
It looks
Like, so
kind of lame.
So focus on that, Lewis. Just like, like fucking make it like bigger. So what they did is that they gave him some sort of Mayan ethnic background history kind of thing. Is that fair to say?
Close.
Because it's close to it, right? Like, how is that Namor on the left looks like that Namor on the right? Like, you can see how they try so hard on it. So now that they're trying to do this, I mean, like, you saw how like how hard we were trying to look for the freaking image itself. It looks like they tried to fucking delete it, didn't it?
I don't believe so, because nothing can be ever deleted on the internet once it's there.
Well, no, but it could be like, it could be removed every time. I mean, like, it's fucking Disney, dude. Like, Disney has all the power and all the fucking money. They can just like scour the web and be like, yo, no, we're not.
I'm pretty sure that they would do a good job on trying to hide the image.
Yeah.
But
so
once
now
it's on the internet, that's very hard to destroy.
So now, like I said, they're stuck on this kind of inclusivity kind of thing, and then trying to structure a storyline, because now they're like, well, we want to hit every single ethnic background so that we can get more money out of it. I mean, is that fair to say, or am I just being mean? That's actually fair to say, right? Like, if you look at all the shows and the TV shows and the movies that came out so far, what do they have? They have America Chavez, right? And America Chavez's parents are lesbians, obviously, right? And then who else do they have? They have Miss Marvel, right? Miss Marvel is Indian. Okay. So actually, let's stick with Miss Marvel.
Miss Marvel was that was very on brand, regardless.
Well, it is. But what I'm saying is that they're trying to include the ethnic background.
They're trying to increase the range of clientele.
Yeah. Because I mean, like,
into their brand.
Like, let me put it this way: if you make Miss Marvel, I mean, like, you captured what, 1.2 billion people.
If you do capture the Indian market, that's probably extremely brilliant.
That's a lot, right? So I feel like that's what they did with Miss Marvel. Because let me put it this way, though. I don't know if this is gonna trigger some people, though. What's the purpose of Miss Marvel in Phase 4? What's her purpose in there?
X-Men.
Oh, I'm gonna touch on that later too as well. That's fucked up, man. But anyways, It at least is something that you said the last time too as well. But anyways, I mean, what was
I
her
say a
purpose?
lot of random things.
Let me put it this way: what was her purpose? There was no purpose for her. Later on, you can make an argument, but like, oh, she's gonna have a purpose later on. She's gonna be part of the Marvels, and then they're gonna write her purpose as Phase 4 goes along. But there wasn't really. It doesn't
Hey,
feel like there was a storyline that would
cash
extend
money
it.
that they're gonna try to put the Fantastic Four by saying they're also X-Men.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it doesn't seem like, okay, we're gonna have Miss Marvel because she's gonna be doing the storyline until Secret Wars. It just feels like we're gonna do Miss Marvel because we want that 1.2 billion people market purchasing Disney Plus, and that's fucking money. And then we'll just write her in as we go along and say, look, see, we had a plan. Like, no, you didn't fucking had a plan. Because
You
right
just wanted
now,
more buyers.
yeah, you just wanted more. It's all about the fucking money. Because, like, let me ask you this. Again, Lewis, what is her purpose in Phase 4? As of right now, what you can tell,
I don't
what
really
is her
know what
purpose?
anybody's purpose in Phase 4 is.
Yeah,
They just exist for entertainment, but no end goal. Versus
'cause-
everybody in the previous phases, the end goal was to make a giant team.
you know how fucked up the storyline is for Miss Marvel? Lewis, what is the main thing that they changed in Miss Marvel?
The way her abilities work.
Her abilities. What was her main ability? What
She
is
was
she?
like a male Mr. Fantastic, but rather than extending, it was like growth.
Yeah, and she can actually change to as well, like morph from X-Men, right?
Yeah.
So because because
She
she's
was
a
a
mutant,
way better Mr. Fantastic,
because she was a mutant, right?
technically.
Technically. And when they changed the powers, we're like, what the fuck is going on? It seems like at the very last episode, they're just like, well, you know how you can
We
control
take
this.
everything back.
Yeah, it's like, you know how you can control this prism thing?
It has
because
nothing to do with you being technically a different alien race.
no, it's
It's,
because you
it's a
have
mutagen.
you have a mutated gene. It's like, oh no, mutants. It's like, this is fucked up. I mean, like, it challenges my intelligence as a comic book fan, man.
I don't like the fact that there was an entire series around her being a djinn,
Mhm.
just so at the very last second, at the very last episode, JK,
You're a mutant. You're a mutant. Like-
then you're like, what the fuck did you just watch? I mean, like, I already didn't like the power change. Now you're changing it so that the fans get what they want.
It's like, fucking commit, dude. Like, commit. Commit to it.
I'm a big die in the hill person. Like, if you do a choice that I personally don't like, but you stick to your fucking guns and morals on it.
Again, it leads back to Zack Snyder stuff. He fucking committed to those trilogy. Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, Justice League. He was fucking committed.
You don't like them.
There was no changes.
You may
He was
not like them,
committed.
but it happened.
Yeah, but he was committed to his fucking vision. Miss Marvel and Marvel right now, they're like, JK. Like, what you say? JK. Mutant. It's like, what? What the fuck is that, man? It's like, if you're gonna commit that she can control this thing like a djinn or whatever you want to
And she
fucking call
needed
it.
some kind of artifact to release that hidden power.
Yeah.
Cool. It's
Commit to it.
technically Shang-Chi for some weird reason.
Yeah, fucking commit to it, man.
Just
Like,
commit.
I don't care. Yeah.
I don't care. I don't agree with it.
Yeah.
I think it's too much going on.
Mm-hmm.
But just live with your choices.
Yeah, I know, right? Just fucking commit to it. Like, oh my god. Yeah, I mean, like, when that guy said, and then the camera was starting to like focus in his face, and he's like about to say something. I was like, in my head, I was like, he's about to say something fucking stupid. It's because you have a mutated gene. There it is. There it is. There fucking is. And then
And we've seen his room. He has none of the equipment to make this like a thing.
For some reason, he just found it out, man.
It's like, we get it. You're a super genius.
But even geniuses need equipment to find out shit, man.
Even Spider-Man took years to make his own equipment.
Yeah, like you see how
He's
long
got to
it-
fund it somehow. He slowly buys like a chip
Yeah.
or two. He programs it over time. He gets the cool shit, but he has a full-time job. This kid just somehow, with his parents, lives in this rinky ass apartment. He got
my
a
research.
genius grant.
It's like my
He's
he
gonna
has
go
a
into MIT.
he has a MacArthur Genius Grant and everything, and then he just found out that she's a mutant somehow.
And then, and like in a very atypical way, the person who has the most opportunity to better their lives, be it male, female, whatever.
Yeah.
You have a local crush that you haven't admitted your feelings to, so you're pushing away all your future.
By the way, they can still take that back. By the way, that mutant thing, eh? Did you know
bit.
that? You know why, right?
Because
It's on the last words that he said about her genes, because he said that the reason why you can do this is because your genes is like it seems mutated. Now that word there, that sentence there, it seems mutated. It could be fucking anything.
But that's
You know what I
just
mean?
her parental gene from her grandmother's side.
Because they can just JK the whole thing and be like, oh, it's mutated because you've been wearing the fucking bracelet all this time. So
And it's been altering you to be able to use your powers even without the bracelet.
Exactly. Or they can just be like, well, because you have the X chromosome. You know what I mean? That's how I found out. It's like, how the fuck did you find that out? Like let me put it this way, okay? Let me put it this way. For everybody who's not a comic book fan, the reason why there's mutants that existed because they have the X. Was it the X chromosome? It was the X chromosome, right? What chromosome was the mutant chromosome? Do you remember?
The mutagen? No.
No. The name for that mutant chromosome. Can you look it up, Louis? The name for the mutant chromosome. It's not the X chromosome. I said X chromosome. That's
I was about there. Yeah, people are made out of XY chromosome.
yeah, I know. I was like, that's not the X chromosome. It was something chromosome though. But the thing is that how did you find out if this is the first time, as everybody's raving, that this is the first time revealing that there is mutants that existed in the MCU, forgetting the fact that fucking Professor X was in the Multiverse of Madness.
X gene on chromosome 66.
There you go. The X gene.
Wow,
on chromosome
it's
66.
dumber than I remember.
Yeah, so the X gene, right? So how did he find out what an X gene is? If this is the first time.
Which is kind of funny because in comic lore, S.H.I.E.L.D. does their best to hide this genetic marker in general because the mass populace literally goes insane and makes sentinels because of the very thing.
It's like this is the most plot hole of all phase 4 is when he said it's almost as if it's mutated, and then everybody
because he's looking for chromosomes. You have to look through your entire genetic marker. So this boy, out of just like even medical labs with the highest end equipment, unless they're looking for this very specific mutated chromosome, they wouldn't be able to find it.
No, even if they find it, they're gonna say this just looks weird, and then they would take like years of research of what that chromosome is.
But yeah, this guy
found it in 6 episodes.
Found it in 3 days.
He found
something that takes scientists years.
Oh my god.
They're top of the line, like equally just as smart as him people. Could barely find it. But yeah. Boom. He read it on like a guide to like mutagens. And then that's where he found it.
He found it in 6 episodes. 6 1-hour episodes. He fucking found it, man.
6 days. That's why it's in chromosome 66. That's the missing 6.
Just like that, man. Like it leaves such a plot hole because even if you found that gene, you're gonna be like, I don't know what this gene is. You're not gonna automatically say that's mutated. Do you know what I mean? You're like, what is this?
Think of it this way, right? If it is a mutated gene, that would mean he would have had her DNA at an earlier stage before the bracelet
and various other people
and
DNA.
literally analyzed it. So he's been taking this girl's DNA for years. This man is creepy.
No, but not even that. You would have something to compare it to. So
That's
that
what I'm
means
saying.
yeah,
He
yeah.
had comparisons.
Yeah, so that means that he would have test subjects for years to compare it to say, oh,
I'd be
right.
more worried to be next to this person. It's like, first of all, how would you even know?
Watch.
Are you actively?
Watch.
Do you have like nanotechnology in my body
Yup.
that's always diagnosing my DNA?
So this is how Marvel does their shit. When there's plot holes like this, and I'm starting to truly believe this.
They
right?
fill it with far-fetched reaching schemes.
No, what happened is that I'm starting to truly believe this, Lewis. When there's plot holes like this, like what we're talking about right now, what they would do is that they would gather up all the social media comments, the negative ones and everything, just like you and me on this podcast, and they're gonna be like, that is a fucking plot hole, and they would write it in later on
some other series or some oh yeah, years ago we made this public information.
Yeah, because look, now they're gonna talk about how that guy found it out. They're gonna be like, well, my dad works for Shield.
We make it so in every junior high school science lab, we talk about mutagens and how some humans have them, and then this is how to look for them.
Or they're gonna be like, well, my dad was fucking Nick Fury, the white one. So I kind of had all these equipment, so I know what I was looking for. And people will be like, oh, okay, now it makes sense.
My aunt is Jean Grey.
They're gonna be like, oh, I send it over to my uncle. Who's your uncle? Charles Xavier. That's how I found out.
What's Beast's real name?
Beast? Henry McCoy. Like, oh
no. My uncle's Henry McCoy.
Yeah. Yeah, I sent it to my uncle. What's his name? Henry McCoy, and then the background music.
Did they ever say what was his last name?
No, I don't think
he's a McCoy. There we
go. He's a fucking McCoy, man. So they're just gonna write it in, and they were like, well, we told you it's all connected. We're just like, and everybody just kind of falls for it and be like, oh, see, I told you.
Brilliant.
It's fucking amazing.
They have this all planned out, and then the writers in the room are just
like they think
sweating.
Like they like they think it's like some sort of like Christopher Nolan kind of like everything's planned out script. Did you see that part where like they interviewed Kevin Smith about The Dark Knight Rises? Essentially when they first revealed Catwoman, which is Anne Hathaway, and she had like goggles, they're like, this isn't like Catwoman, like Christopher Nolan doesn't know what he's doing, what a fucking piece of shit. And then when she flips over her visor and her visor sticks to the top of her head, because the visor is like stiff, so it just doesn't like just fold, it actually like folds upwards like this, and then the indentation and the shadow of the visor looks like cat ears, and you're like, oh, he's fucking brilliant.
And then they went out, it's like, no, that was just a good coincidence.
Yeah, because like the way he designed it is like, oh, this is not Catwoman, doesn't have the fucking ears, and then you like she flips it over and they're like, oh, there's the fucking ears, Catwoman. They're like,
I think that was just coincidence, and then it just worked for their favor.
No, that's costume design. That's
costume design.
Yeah, that's costume design, because the way that
it seems silly.
Because the way Christopher Nolan did the Batman trilogy is that I'm gonna make this militaristic and realistic in the world, right? Like Bane's not gonna have fucking venom, just fucking brute strength, right? There it is, right? She's a cat woman, she's a cat burglar, but we're not gonna put fucking ears on her. But her visor, when she flips it up, it just looks like it's fucking cat ears. You know what I mean? So
it weird to me to think that the third movie should have been maybe a little bit more comic booky versus less realistic?
No, because at that time, you gotta have to look at it at that time. That was like what, 2003, 2004, 2005. They weren't going for aesthetically look for on comic book wise. Like, remember, we talked about this with the X-Men and all that stuff.
I feel like the Batman got like a good mix going there. I feel like it's only there was like a few weird parts.
I know we're talking about like Miss Marvel and how shitty that show is, but the Batman, oh, fuck.
God, I hyped you up too much for that movie, and then you were just so disappointed.
I'm so fucking disappointed.
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great piece of
You
cinema.
hyped me up so much on that.
I hyped you up so much. Next time,
no.
Something before you.
It's not that you hyped up the movie too much. Is you hyped up the Batmobile, which translates to the fucking movie. That Batmobile was a piece of shit.
I love that Batmobile. I thought that was a great Batmobile.
It was so shitty. Again, the movie Torque had a better fucking like machinery than that Batmobile. I get Lewis. I said this.
It was just supposed to be a car, bro.
I said this on the other podcast already. How is that fucking car has a jet engine but cannot chase after the fucking Penguin's car, which is like a piece of shit car?
You know what it is?
Tell me, defend it. Go ahead.
I'm not gonna defend it because this is what I think actually happened.
Because you can't.
So
like, oh,
you know how some car dealerships make like contracts, like we want our car to be so fucking optimal that even if you put a jet engine on a different car, it will still outspeed it. I think that's a little too far-fetched. This is $100,000 to prove you fucking wrong. Because your car's gonna be faster than a jet engine.
Because like it makes me think. I was watching the fucking Batman and the car scene. I was like, this is so garbage.
You know that whole scene was just to sell you like a car, right?
Yeah, it's for toys. It's for toys. I get it.
Not only for toys, for real cars.
No, I get it. But the thing is this. I was watching that and I was like, this is fucking stupid. Because if I want to get away from Batman, I'll just fucking get the Penguin car.
Yeah, exactly. Think about it. It's faster than a jet engine.
It's like
you gotta be stupid not to buy that car now.
That movie was just I don't know why. I don't know why some people are praising that movie. It's either because it's a Batman movie or it's because it just had the whole. I don't know.
I really liked it though.
Like, why? Tell me what's good about that movie. Like, I'll be open minded. I'm gonna take away everything that's fucked up about the movie, but I'll be open minded. What do you think that's good about that movie? Because I can't find. Like,
they didn't really try to like do the most of the greatest hits. They took a Riddler character, which generally is always written very boring, and honestly, they kind of did a good job with the Riddler. My disappointing aspects were Catwoman. They didn't use her enough. I felt like she was just like a subplot within a subplot.
Well, we talked about this. It's kind of like a fucking video game. It's just like a side story.
And I like that about it.
But there's no need for it.
There wasn't. I think she was basically used to fill in for time.
It's kind of like the same thing as like Indiana Jones.
Which
Indiana
one?
Jones. All of it.
All of Indiana Jones?
Like Indiana Jones is the most useless character in all of the... Because if you think about it...
Well, no. Especially with the coffin with the Nazis, they would have all died. The aliens, they would have also died. Indiana Jones could have not been there, and the Nazis would have all still died.
I forgot what TV show it was that revealed Indiana Jones. Oh, it was South Park. That's it. Indiana Jones, useless.
The Holy Grail, the Nazis would have still all died. Every villain that Indy has interacted with would have naturally died.
It still would have progressed.
It would still would have progressed. They would have still found either the coffin, they still would have found the cup.
Big Bang
Theory. They would have still found the crystal skull. They would have found everything.
Yeah, it was Big Bang Theory. I'm just gonna put it out there. Big Bang Theory is the one who revealed it. It was pretty useless.
And all the villains would have died.
Because like if I were to ask you, who was it? The Penguin and Catwoman, right? And the Batman. Okay. So the main villain is the Riddler. Right? So the Riddler's the main villain. If you take what use did Catwoman and and the Penguin have for him to capture the Riddler? He would have still caught him anyways.
He would have still caught him anyways, a little bit,
Well,
but he would still needed the iceberg lounge to exist
for what?
because that's where the entire syndicate was being placed in. But the Penguin didn't have to be there. He was basically there to set him up as maybe the main villain for the next movie.
But he didn't need it to actually capture the Riddler. Because if you look at it, the clues are there anyways. The clues are popping up either way. You see what I'm trying to say? Whether he interacted with the Catwoman or the Penguin, the clues were popping anyways. He would have gone to the clues which lead him to the Riddler.
So you're talking about the main plot of the movie.
I'm talking about the purpose of Catwoman and Penguin. They're useless. In the whole movie, they were useless. They didn't take part of him capturing the Riddler at all. Or
Until
leading him
the
to the Riddler.
Penguin pretty much told them you're looking at this one answer wrong.
But here's the thing. If you take that out, the next riddle was gonna lead him there anyways.
If he found the apartment, yes.
So there's no use. That's what I'm saying.
You gotta admit, that Batsuit did the most heavy lifting I've ever seen anything ever do.
Because
it's
100%
bulletproof. Even his uncovered face.
So that's another. Oh my god, that's another thing that's wrong with that movie. Why is the Batsuit like 100% bulletproof against what guns do they use? The AK-47U,
sniper rifles, AK-47s, shotguns, action pump shotguns. There's no basic bitch shotgun.
And his mouth and his opening for his mouth is like the widest that it has been since the animated
It might as well
series.
be like this big, and then no one shoots here.
Like no villain when we're like, okay, I'm gonna
even
shoot
the guy with the shotgun, right?
Yeah.
Full on, you could have like raised like one more foot up and would have hit his face.
Like,
no, he just hit the body.
Like nobody in that movie was shooting him, and the bullets were just bouncing off and goes. You know, there's an opening on his mouth.
That looks like skin. I should shoot that.
It looks exposed. That's like as a kid. Even
then, he might be able to eat the bullets.
Like for this way, even the Greek in fucking Achilles knew to hit him in his Achilles because that's exposed
and on his heel.
Yeah, like, and then the Batman is like, oh, his mouth is showing. I'm just gonna keep shooting the armor. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna penetrate it at one point. I'm pretty sure it will be fine. That's another plot hole in that movie. So I don't celebrate the Batman as like, oh my god, it's so comic book accurate. That's the most uncomic book accurate like Batman. If you want to look at it, really, Lewis,
his suit was very accurate.
No.
It did like 80% of the heavy lifting.
Dude, Lewis, at every comic book that we've ever read about Batman and TV show, at what point did he really have a bulletproof suit that is not the Hellraiser suits in Scott Snyder's Court of Owls? The Hellraiser suit is different because that looks like a fucking like huge armor, right? I'm talking about like a normal Batman suit that's actually bulletproof. There's none.
I feel like he doesn't try to get in the way of guns. He always tries to run away from guns.
Like the Omega beam fucking hit him. Okay, that's what I'm saying.
And because he's Batman, he didn't get vaporized from like existence. He just got traveled back in time.
He traveled back in time.
And you know who he has to thank for that? The Batsuit. It had anti-Omega beam technology built into the seams. You don't understand. That's his plot. He wanted to get hit by the Omega beams so he can travel back in time to start his own tribe, to then evolve into his own cult, which his father leads, so that they can then later on summon some kind of bat god so he may kill it, so he becomes the only true bat god. Leading to the Court of Owls.
So like
and Dark Knight's Metal.
So for everybody who's
It's
criticizing,
genius.
so everyone who's criticizing Christopher Nolan's Batman, who's like, oh, it's too military like.
We have
Listen,
years of stupidity to read
yeah,
for you.
those trilogy there that he made is the best accurately realistic looking Batman in
I
today's
like the
world.
first two. The
Yeah,
third one I wasn't a fan of.
like that is the most realistic, as more realistic in the realism kind of world that you can get. Everything else that follows after that, are you fucking kidding me? We just went through like, we just tore it with like a fucking new Batman.
Listen, just go watch Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. You'll thank me later.
I would rather watch Batman Forever than the Batman. I'm not even kidding.
I really did enjoy the older Batmans. No matter how much people shit on me for liking those
Yeah.
movies, those movies were
Because you
genuinely
know why?
joy.
Because you know why I would rather watch Val Kilmer Batman? Because at least they know their identity. Like, this is a piece of shit. There's fucking nipples everywhere. Even there's Batman cards in here and all that shit,
No.
right?
The Bat Nipples was in Batman and Robin.
Okay, my bad. But still,
George Clooney was the Bat
yeah.
Nips.
But still, they know that they were a piece of shit kind of movie and they're making a campy movie. But this Batman right here with Robert Pattinson, you're trying to pass it off as like a realistic Batman in today's world. Are you fucking kidding me? No. Go fuck yourself.
I don't think they tried very hard to make it into today's world. I think they were trying to go more comic, weird, bizarre than
It's
realistic.
not even okay, as a comic book fan, it's still not as a comic book. It's still not comic book accurate.
I truly enjoyed it. It was more Detective Batman, which I kind of wanted out of it than just regular action-packed Batman.
It's just, it was. I told my best friend this already because he wanted like an accurate detective Batman, and I told him for years and years and years. I told him it's not gonna fucking happen because if you do that, it's gonna be the most boring, talkative Batman that you will ever see in your whole life. And then the Batman came out. It is the most talkative and most boring fucking Batman that I've seen in my whole life. And I asked him about it. I was like, "What did you think about the Batman?" He's like, it's not that good. I don't know, man." I'm like, "I fucking told you." I rubbed it in his face.
I enjoyed it kind of in the same way. No, not really. I didn't enjoy it that much. You enjoyed Zack Snyder.
Which one?
The Justice League movie.
Zack Snyder's Justice League. Yeah, I do.
You really enjoy it. I just like the Batman. I don't love the Batman.
Well, the reason why I like the Zack Snyder's Justice League is because the storyline was a lot more. It's a lot more coherent and a lot more structured.
But your only comparison is to the first attempt.
Yeah, because the first attempt was shit.
Second attempt wasn't that much better.
The second attempt is more. No, what you have to look at, Lewis. Don't look at like the cinematography and don't look at the FX on it and the CGI and all that stuff.
Trust me, I try not to.
No, you have to look at it from the storyline from it. The storyline is more structured. That's what that Justice League was about.
If this gave us entry into a New Gods movie, I would have been like, okay, purely acceptable.
Well, that's what they were going to do. Remember? Well, the New Gods
I don't think we're going to get a New Gods movie.
No, it was canceled. Remember, New Gods was in the plan, and then they canceled it.
They shouldn't have. It would have been so cool.
Well, they canceled it because of Shazam and whatnot, because those are the New Gods now. Yeah.
I gotta really see Shazam.
Well, you can take a look. But anyways, fuck, man, that's just too much of this.
Hey, we have some good news though.
What?
The Rock is Black Adam though.
What?
The Rock is Black Adam.
Well, everybody knew that since 2008.
Yeah, I know. Just focus on the good for once.
You can't, man. You can't because they're fucking it up so much.
I mean,
man.
The Justice Society's in it. I'm pretty okay with that.
That's also fucking messed up.
I don't care.
Like, how do you have Adam Smasher in there and then you have fucking what? Tornado,
Dr. Fate,
Dr. Fate,
and Hawkman.
See, I don't disagree with Dr. Fate being Pierce Brosnan.
Great choice.
It was a perfect choice, but they made him so fucking old as if you can't even have him anymore in like the next future films.
You don't really need to. Doctor Fate is something that gets inherited over time, anyways.
Yeah, but they have him as the first Doctor Faith. Like, what are you gonna give it to?
I
Like,
don't think he's the first.
right, anyways, well, that's another discussion. But anyways, that's it for this week's random nerdy shit. It's just get your act together, man. Like
Me?
one not
You're the
you,
one that's
not
emotionally invested. I don't care.
not you, not you. Fucking Marvel and fucking DC, man.
That's
Get your
called
act together.
emotional investment.
It's just like
You know
get your
what you
act
have?
together. It's just
Emotional damage.
because if I'm gonna fucking with all this inflation and whatnot, if I'm gonna spend time waiting for these shows to be streaming, I mean, you gotta have to be like worth my time. Thor Love and Thunder as well as
Never
Doctor
seen it.
Strange, that Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness have gone down after their first release. After the week of their release, have they gone down by more than 50%?
Because
You know,
people are
because
still
it's
waiting for it to
shit.
be streaming.
No, the streaming doesn't come out until 18 months later, or sorry, 8 months later. Yeah, 5 months later. It doesn't come out into streaming until 5 months later. So
They might
it's
actually push Thor Love and Thunder earlier.
no, but the thing is that it drops because it's shit. Because it was shitty.
From what I heard, Love and Thunder was too much comedy and it didn't really have enough
It was
time to breathe to have an actual plot.
it was just shitty. That's what it was.
I
It was
heard
shitty.
that, yeah.
Yeah, they had Jane Foster's Thor in there, and then they just fucked it up because they just killed her off again. I don't care if anybody knows. That's a fucking
Oh,
spoiler
come on,
there.
man. I haven't seen it.
Oh, I thought you said you've seen it.
I said I have not seen it.
Oh,
It
I thought you
doesn't
said.
matter. I'll watch it.
Oh, I thought you said go
It's all
see
the same
it.
to me.
Well, you
No,
know
I
what,
haven't.
but you know her condition.
Yeah,
How she-
and why it's never cured.
Yeah, well, there you go. That's why.
I read comic books.
I read books sometimes. Of course I do.
Like, I read all anthologies. I read How to Kill a Mockingbird by force.
Like I read books.
You know,
of course I do.
But by the way, for all those who are reading To Kill a Mockingbird, if your teacher brings up to watch the movie, don't read the book. The movie is so garbage and it loses all its nuance.
There you go. Wise words from Lewis there. But if you guys have any more questions, definitely let me know. Next week, we are going to be interviewing we're gonna have another guest. So you guys will see that.
And
But
not
until
only is
then,
it a surprise to you, it's also a surprise to me.
but until then, that's it. Lewis, any more last words besides the last one that you just said?
Right. I have to pee really badly, so if we can end this quickly, I can go pee faster.
Okay, well.